drew between sort of the cell and the human being, and sort of how different aspects of the cell and its structure were sort of analogous to aspects of our structure as sort of human beings. Like, for instance, like the structure here with the centrioles is sort of like our like the skeletal system that keeps us in shape. But I'd like to refer back to this analogy because we're going to sort of continue with that analogy, sort of. And so what we're going to look at today is sort of analogous to the digestive system. It's how the cell sort of cellular respiration, the whole process is the process in which the cell takes sort of outside stuff and translates it into something that it can use. Like in plants, like they take sunlight, and through photosynthesis they make something I don't remember what it's called, but glucose. Yeah, or, that's what they power. It's the same idea, but we're going to look at it in our sort of human or eukaryotic cells. So generally speaking, sort of cellular respiration. You got a picture. That'll come. So just cellular respiration is essentially the cell's mechanism of releasing energy from things that it consumes, like sugars and like glucose, for instance. So the cell sort of takes in food and through the process of cellular respiration sort of releases the energy. So what I'd first like to talk about, and what sort of helped me understand it first, and how the textbook I was reading did was sort of talk first about sort of what we think energy is. And I think this was really cool. At Waldorf, we didn't work with a ton of textbooks, so this may be something everybody knows. But what I really like or found attractive about how the textbook explained things was when it has. What I like about textbooks is when they have to explain something like really, really fundamental, like for instance, like energy. Like, what do you guys think about when you're like, what is energy? Like, if you had to explain what energy is, what would you say? But I mean, I really like how, like, if you think about it, it's sort of hard to sort of explain what energy is. But they had a cool definition, and I thought it was nice. So it's sort of the capacity to cause change. So if you think about energy in our bodies, sort of generally, like, our energy is sort of our capacity to, like, contract muscles and do things. So that this is sort of essential to the cell. So energy is the cell's capacity to sort of change things and transform things and do things. And so this connects so during cellular respiration, what the cell sort of creates is called ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, which is sort of the cell's currency, if you will, of energy, sort of little quantifiable units of the capacity to change, or to cause change. And ATP is the the outcome of the cell's metabolism. So after it takes in something, transforms it, sort of breaks it open and gets the energy from it, the cell creates ATP. We'll look obviously later at how the cell makes it, but I think first it's good to understand what ATP is. So ATP, this is I don't know, what is this diagram called, like this kind of diagram? I'm not sure. It's like, I don't know, a schematic of sort of the chemical structure of it. And so this is like a nuclear, I can't remember what it's called, but what's important about it is that there's there's those 3 phosphate things here, and this becomes important when the body starts using the ATP. But so the way that ATP works once it's created, which we'll look at, it is through it's called ATP hydrolysis, in which through a process with the introduction of water, I think, one of these phosphates breaks off, creating this sort of inorganic phosphate thing, and it makes this side of it into something called adenosine diphosphate, because it has 2 phosphates. And through that process of that phosphate, this sort of phosphate thing at the end breaking off, energy is created, and that's sort of the most basic way in which energy is created and how our body does things. So that is sort of the body, it's sort of the most sort of fundamental part in how the body has energy, and how this is sort of the body's capacity to cause change, to refer back to those.
Is that for all life forms?
Yeah, everything that has cells, so I think, yeah, everything. I don't know but I think so.
Yeah.
So now we can start looking at how the body actually, or how the cells creates ATP. And this is through the process, as I said earlier, as cellular respiration. And so there's three major steps in it, in cellular respiration, which is glycolysis, citric acid cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation, or electron transport. And it's sort of a progression across here, and this diagram sort of is a bit ambiguous because it shows that all of these, each process sort of yields ATP, but it's a touch misleading because I guess this one's a bit bigger. But all of these two first ones really don't yield that much ATP. Each of these yield, I think, 2 ATP, but the last one yields 32. So these first two ones are sort of insignificant, but they're sort of a byproduct of how these two first processes work. So we can, I guess, go through them in order, and we'll start with glycolysis, which is the first sort of step once something is sort of taken into the body, or into the cell. And we'll sort of follow, I think, glucose through this process, sort of as our guinea pig of sorts, to sort of follow where it is and how it's affected and how it changes. So glycolysis literally means, I think, like splitting sugars, like breaking sugars apart. So in glycolysis, let's say glucose, which is C6H12O6, is pretty much